Smudged it. No. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. Okay. There we go. Oh my god, hey.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. Before we start, I just want to give like a quick introduction. So, hi, I'm Ava. I am the Youth Content Creator Manager at In the Silent Epidemic, and every week I do these weekly IG lives with a friend and a guest. And this week's guest is my friend Kirsten. So, Kirsten, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm 16 and that's really it. I'm a junior in high school and I've been suffering with like mental health issues for almost 10 years.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Ava. I'm 15. I just turned 15 like the other day, and I've been struggling with mental health since I was about like 10 years old, I think. So, basically, the topic of today's meeting is we're gonna have an open conversation about like what us youth and teens are looking for in like a mental health website because we are creating a website for the silent epidemic. And so I just wanted to kind of maybe us like talk about some things that maybe like people our age might be look. Sorry, my garage door just like my room's right above the garage, so it just went up. So I don't know if you can hear it, but
Yeah, I feel that.
okay. So basically, today's meeting is we're talking about like maybe what we're looking for in a website about mental health, and maybe just like bouncing back some ideas. And if anybody who's watching has some ideas, please feel free to like put them in the chat. Or if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. But maybe we should start with what's something that maybe you would want to see on like a
Def-
website.
I was gonna say definitely resources and like the numbers you can call in case you need or call or text in case you need someone to talk to and like that's not necessarily a friend or a family. And they're always open. I've texted them at 2 o'clock in the morning before. And the National Crisis Hotline and the Suicide Prevention Line and like all of those numbers I think would be a good resource to put on there. And
Mhm.
definitely like, doctors' offices that specialize like psychologists in case, parents want to help as well.
Mhm. I think
Uh,
that's a really good idea. Yeah. And
mhm.
for sure, definitely adding on to that, I'm thinking maybe what if like possibly I know that there's different like hotlines for like different states. So I was thinking that possibly like we could do like a link to maybe like each state and within like the link it'll I'm sorry, my window is open so there's just noises. But I was thinking maybe we could put like maybe like have like a little like page with like each state and it might have like certain hotlines for like different areas in the state or just like that way people can
Yeah, do
see
it
like their
like do by major counties and stuff like that. That's a really good idea. Doing his specific states too, because I know, or like even countries, just putting the list
Mhm.
of different countries on there too. Because I have a few friends that are across the pond that always, are looking for someone to help.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe even possibly like links to maybe some sort of like therapy resources or like maybe like online therapy or like affordable therapy because I know that's a big thing with some people I talk to where like they can't afford it. So maybe we could put links to like maybe affordable therapy.
Oh yeah, that would be great because I know that therapy, just standard straight through therapy through like a really not well-known doctor can be pretty expensive. Like I used to go to one that was like $500 like a session. I was like, "Ugh, yeah, no." So I know that also that with COVID, lots of people have lost their jobs. So I've noticed a lot more that any teen suffering or like teens who may not like the adults in general too just don't have anywhere to go because they can't afford it so they try and are like okay, get on my feet and so I can just see a therapist, which is so sad.
Yeah. Also, I think maybe possibly we could maybe talk to some people and have them maybe put their like personal like stories maybe
Hmm.
because I know like for certain things I've struggled with, I feel like 10 times better knowing that like oh, someone else struggles with it and maybe we can put like we could talk to some people like really get some people on the website to maybe put like their stories and
Hmm.
we could see and like what they've done because that
Yeah,
might help some people.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
also I have a great resource that I use. My friend Kate joined, and I think she knows this resource too. It's jewelneverbroken.com. It works on mindfulness and breathing and like stuff to kind of work on that, like just work on that. And it's my favorite website to go to, and it's like really interactive. It has you do like breathing exercises, just also put what you're grateful for, because if you really think about it, that if you lose your battle, then you lost everything. That like you might be someone's most grateful thing or like their most precious thing, and then you'll be gone. So I
Mhm.
that's a great website to use too.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said just now, like about being grateful and like realizing like things that you'd be missing out on. Maybe like on the website we could put like a ton of like positive like things, or maybe be
Like,
like asking them like check-in questions.
yep, I love
Yeah,
that. I was
that's
gonna
really
say,
nice.
I will be more than willing to put my story in what's helped me, because I do a lot of coping mechanisms, whether it's like something small, like just doing like light collecting of something, or like I'll go out and collect rocks. Like I'll just go out if I see a rock, I'll just start grabbing them, shoving them in my pocket, then I'll tumble them later. Just something light that'll get your mind off of what's kind of, what's bothering you, because I know that lots of people have that, whether it's stress from work or like school, because I know that juniors in high school are taking the SAT within these next few weeks. So it's going to be like classes, is up on classes, trying to be like, okay, what do we do?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Like with the SATs and stuff, like I feel like we could also put like maybe like certain like check-in questions or like positive like affirmations for like certain things that some people might be struggling with. Like for example, like the SATs, we could put like here's some here's some help for like test prep, or like here's some like positive like things like to say to people like during the SATs and stuff like that to maybe calm people down.
Yeah, oh,
Um,
yeah, for sure. And yeah, I love. Thank you for the reasons. Keep on fighting. That's one of my favorite things, because it's like also putting like just even for anyone, like just right now, like anyone that has a Google Doc, write down things you're thankful for, because it makes it like so much better to realize what you're going to be missing out on, like whether it's in the far future or
mhm.
like now. It's in the now, like because most seniors are graduating, and then there's been so many rises in like teen suicides that are like seniors in high school, 18-year-olds, and it's so sad that they lost out on the opportunity to graduate. And it's a blessing though that most of them who are suffering are able to walk through that and get to the end of the tunnel and make it through high school.
Definitely. I feel like a good thing, like with like the certain stories, we could talk to a lot of like survivors of maybe like, suicide attempts, and maybe them talking about like what they would have missed out on if like their attempt had been successful and stuff like that. Or maybe that kind of stuff, maybe possibly.
Let's see, what did Kate say? A gratitude practice. It really is, because it's just so hard. It is hard to be anxious and depressed while you're trying to be grateful, because it's like you're either thinking of one or the other. And I've noticed a lot with mental health, it's a lot of back and forth, because I do have bipolar disorder. So my mood's always switching and my brain's always turning on and off to which mode it wants to be on. If that makes sense. It's a really weird way to explain it. But like it's always bouncing forth from I'm grateful for this, but it's like, what if I can't make it through this? So I always
Mhm.
just am like, okay, stop bouncing back and forth, try and focus on one thing for as long as possible. Like I'll literally just sit in the dark listening to music, just to kind of like keep a straight mind and just be like, okay, just think about one thing, don't think about anything else.
Mhm.
Whether it's the
Yeah.
most random, like a lizard in a top hat, I'll just think about like a picture of a lizard in a top hat for 30 minutes, and see how I'm feeling after. It's the simple things that really help as like a resource.
I really like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. In terms of advocacy, is there anything active that can be done? Like for Black Lives Matter, there are sit-ins. What kind of public demonstrations would be possible?
I
Um,
I'm sorry, you go.
oh no, no, you go ahead. I was just saying, because I was thinking.
Yeah, Robbie's Hope is a program that I'm a part of. Are you? I forgot. Are you a part of Robbie's Hope too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I think that's how we met too.
Yeah.
And that's a really good program, if you want to call about it, if you want to call it, or like an ambassador, like a light ambassadorship you can do. And their goal is to like to was it cut teen suicide rates in half by 2028, because they lost their son to suicide. Carrie and Jason lost their son Robbie to suicide. And so our goal is to try kind of like spread that around. So I know that we have the Hopeful Drive, I think, every year, like something similar to
Yeah.
that. And I know that with all my orders for my small business, I give out the wristbands, and once I get bigger packaging, I'm giving out the handbooks as kind of just like a nice way, because most of my funds actually do go to suicide prevention, which no one knows. Everyone, like, I'll just like be like, okay, I'll pick, a foundation,
Mhm.
do like, a certain order, like, and I just donated like $40 to Robbie's Hope like a week ago because I got a big order. So
I love that. That's so awesome.
I got Robbie's Hope, the Inspiring Children's Foundation, the Trevor Project. I got all the ones that kind of like resonate more with me at heart. Definitely St. Jude too. Like I love whatever all of them stand for. So you can make sure how to just if you need to donate, because the money from I think Robbie's Hope goes to like resources for kids who might not be able to afford it or like have trouble with that.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like also on the website we could also maybe put links to like different like nonprofits and like, hey, if like you'd like to donate to these certain organizations, or we can like put like, or we can have like a little donation place on our website to like donate to us so that we can donate it to.
Kind of just disperse it, every time. That's really nice. I like that.
I think having a ways of how to be an advocate in your community where there's ways to raise awareness in schools and community.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely. I've noticed in my school that like with COVID, we've been having issues with putting like tables up and stuff like that, like outside of the cafeteria, which is where we'd usually do it. So I try to
mhm.
give them to teachers, and like I gave over the course of the Hopeful Drive, I gave about 20 sets of books out to each of my teachers, and they were able to get that as far to California because they shipped them out to family, and I was like, what? I was like,
Wow.
okay, that works really well. So I was like, okay, so I can leave them on like the front off. I'm going to talk to my front office and ask if I can leave it on their desk, just to be like, okay, if anyone needs that, can I leave that here, just to kind of like help spread the word.
I love that. Can you think of a powerful public statement we could make as a community for mental health and suicide awareness?
It's okay not to be okay. I think that's the biggest one you can do, because
Mhm.
most people I know are kind of retracted in their shell when it comes to that. Like I was for so long, just like, it's not, this isn't normal. Like, I know that like almost anyone that may have had like suicidal thoughts could have been like, I'm the only one going through it, there's, no one else. So it's might as well just be quiet. But that's also from Robbie's Hope as well. As it is okay not to be okay, because not you might not think it, but lots of people actually go through it. So
Mhm.
I think that's the biggest quote we can say.
Yeah, and definitely adding on to that, we could also put maybe something like "You're not alone," because like it also shows that like it's not just you, like everyone, there's other people struggling too, and that you're not the only one fighting this battle.
Exactly.
I definitely like that for sure.
Yeah, I like
Um,
positive affirmations as well. I think is one of the best things we can do as well, because especially you are enough, because I had to get told that by so many people before I even stopped thinking, I'm nothing. Because I still feel like that sometimes when I'm like in my deep depressive states. I'm just like, I'm nothing. No one's gonna miss me, if I was gone. So, then I hear people say that you are enough. And so, yeah.
oh, I love that. Do you think people would consider a sit-in hold, holding "It's okay not to be okay" signs? Oh, I like that.
I do like.
For, for sure. I feel like definitely since there's a lot of people like I know I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but and the silent epidemic was based in Boston and I do not live in Boston. And so I feel like it would also be powerful to see like people in like different states just like sharing pictures of us like pictures and videos of us like holding like signs and then gathering like as many of our friends and like just doing it like
Yeah.
out in public. Hmm.
Or is public activism hard? It can be hard because not everyone believes it. Because I've been told by actual teachers in my middle school, being like, "You'll be fine. It's just a phase." And I'm like, "Really? That's you never say that to someone with mental health, like anxiety, no matter what, because it's not it might be a phase, but sometimes it's not. Like some people who have different like mental issues or disorders, and they're just like, it's a phase, you'll get over it. Like you'll get over it and it's a phase are the two worst things you can say, just for like reasons of, it might put them down because they're like, what if it is just a phase? What if I am faking? And I'm like, no, you shouldn't feel that you're faking it. Like, you know,
Yeah,
you know.
definitely. That literally that happened to me because last year, back in when I was in 8th grade, my mom was trying to find me a therapist. And so she found this one therapist, and the lady wanted to meet with my mom first. And so my mom told her about everything that I've kind of like been through and kind of like how I react to a lot of situations. And the therapist literally told my mom that I was just doing it all for attention.
I hate
And
God.
it hurt so bad. My mom told me I was so upset about it because like I was like, come on, because I was just looking for help. And like
Exactly.
luckily, yeah, luckily I knew that I wasn't faking it. But like imagine if like I had been in a state, like a position where I was like, oh, maybe I am faking it. Maybe this is just me trying to get attention. Like those kind of words just like hurt and affect people. And I feel like definitely people need to be more careful about like what they're saying and just listening to people.
That is exactly why I named. Okay, so I'm writing a whole ass album about situations in my personal life that many people can relate to. And it's literally, the album is titled Words Hurt, and then the complete utter message is words hurt, so don't abuse their power. That's what I have on the title. And I've showed you that cover too so many times that I'm going to repost it because I have 3 songs done. I'm going to sample them in about a week to kind of give people an idea of what the album's about. Like, I have all personal experiences on there too, and my friends were like, I'll show them the lyrics and they'll be like, wait, I never thought you would feel like that. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like that a lot. So definitely it's gonna be something nice for people to bond over, as opposed to just like, some pop album where there's really no meaning to it.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like music is a really great way to like connect to people and really like get people to like, express their feelings and like relate more because like it's just such like it's such a powerful thing and it's something that a lot of people like find enjoyment in. So I feel like that's definitely really I really love that you're doing that and
Yeah.
I definitely want to order your album once it comes out.
It's probably gonna be no order. I'm probably just gonna do music videos and samples and all that. But yeah, that's like why I wanted to do that, because I know that there are a lot of teens that are just like that listen to music, and I was like, how am I gonna do it? And I was like, a full acoustic guitar album of just mental health related things. So I was like,
I
you
love
know,
that.
like, okay, I'm gonna get this done. And then I was like, okay, well, what do I do as a side thing when I'm like, okay, I don't want to write today? And then I was like, okay, I'll create my small business where I can definitely donate, profits to other like nonprofit organizations and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so I can, keep some for, so I can get more supplies, so I can make more, so it's kind of like a nice cycle, not a vicious cycle, but a nice cycle of like, you know, get some more stuff out, donate more, get some more stuff out, donate more. So I do keep a little bit of it, but the majority of it does go to like nonprofit stuff. So
Yeah, I really love that. That's really amazing. I love that. I love what you're doing with that. I love that so much.
thank you.
Yeah. Um, Definitely. Also, I just want to add, me and Kirsten did a live a couple months ago, I think.
Yeah.
It's on my Instagram account if you guys want to go look at it. We had like a really in-depth conversation about like mental health and like our experiences and how we view stuff. I just want to put that out there just in case anybody who's feeling maybe a little bit alone or maybe someone who just wants to like see that might be helpful. Speaking of music, would it be helpful to have a section of music to listen to in this mood? Ooh, I like that.
Have a whole playlist. I will send it right over to you. I have a whole playlist that I have for just like like more calming music, but still music that if you need to relate to, I'm gonna edit it a little bit and I'll send that right your way too, so we can add that to the site. So
I love that. Yeah, that's a great idea. Music is a great way to like get people calm down. There's good like you could have songs for like maybe whenever you want to lift your mood or maybe when you just like want to be in your feelings because like you said.
mood and you
Mhm,
don't want to be touched. Like I'll have the
mhm.
days, like my boyfriend's actually sitting over here. He'll know I'll have the days where I don't want to be like touched or like, just like I just want to sit there and do nothing. I'll just like lay there on a pillow and just have my headphones in, just be like lean my head back and just like, okay, no one touched me, everyone leave me alone. And when something
Exactly.
like that, I'm just like I get into a really bad mood for the rest of the day because I'm just like, leave me alone. Let
It's
me.
just like yeah, it's just like with like the it's okay not to be okay because sometimes you don't need sometimes you just need to feel your feelings to just understand or just to
I like
you know.
that. You need to feel your feelings. I do love that. So I think I'm good on everything.
Yeah, me too. Thank you again so much for joining, and for giving all your great ideas. I love that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for offering it to me.
Yeah, no problem. So, we'll be doing these weekly, so I'll have like a new guest like every week. So if you guys want to check in, they'll typically be Wednesdays at around 6 probably. So again, thank you, 6 p.m. Eastern time. But thanks again, Kirsten, for joining. I really appreciate it. Okay, bye.
Bye.